In Washington, ghost-like objects dart across the radar screen at the CAA Traffic Control Center at National Airport for several hours, traveling more than 100 miles an hour. Air Force jet fighters spend several hours chasing the objects plotted on the radar scope.
Something else is out there.
There's something else out there, okay.
Of all the banks and braes of bonny Scotland, none holds more fascination than the murky waters of Loch Ness.
Tell me, do you think there is life on other planets?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I suppose there would be.
No, he seems definite. You seem
Definitely.
definite. How do you see this life and where?
Oh, I've seen a flying saucer.
Blackwater Media presents Darkfall. Real-life encounters with the paranormal and the unexplained. This incident, which I'd like to share with you, happened when I was about 15. I hope that after you hear and understand what happened to me, that you never, ever consider using a Ouija board. And if you have used one, don't ever use it again. At the time, several strange things were happening, which I believe had to do with a seance my friend and I put on. We were using a homemade Ouija board made from a piece of scrap plywood, those big stinky magic markers, and a glass from the kitchen for a planchette. Nothing much exciting happened during the seance, and to be honest, I thought my friend was pushing the glass and never thought much of it. That is, until I began waking up at 3:15 a.m. every morning with a genuine sensation of total terror. I would lie awake in my bed with the covers over my head as I had a strange sensation of being watched and was afraid of what was in the room with me. I would lie there until the sun came up. I was always terrified of looking in a certain direction, and upon inspection, I found the glass which had been used in the damn seance. This took me by surprise as the glass had been disposed of, so I was certain that the glass was the reason for my sleepless nights. I got rid of the glass again. However, I kept experiencing the same feelings, and once again, upon inspection, came across the same glass that I'd already thrown in the garbage twice. What the fuck was going on with this damn glass? This time I was determined to get rid of it, so I took it outside and smashed it on the ground. I continued waking at 3:15 a.m. to the minute every morning without fail, and I started seeing strange, dark shadows. The shadows started as perfect black balls which would circle my room, then seem to disappear through my window. Now, believe it or not, I put this off to paranoia and lack of sleep and simply tried to ignore it and went back to sleep, still with my head under the covers, of course. Then other people started noticing the shadow too, and I mean during the daytime. They would tell me towards the end of the house where my room was seemed a bit creepy. Gradually, the shadows seemed to get bigger, but I continued to ignore them. Until one night, the family dog woke me up again, 3:15 a.m. He was sitting next to my bed and he was making a crying sound. I figured the dog needed to go out, so I got up and let him outside. As soon as I was back in bed, the dog was at my window, squeaking and carrying on, so I got back up and let him back inside. The dog followed me to my room and once again sat by my bed whimpering. Then I took him back outside, and even though he sat at my window still crying, I made him stay out there for a bit because I didn't want him coming back in and waking me up. Now, I eventually gave in and let the dog back inside. The bathroom light was on, letting light flood the hallway as I walked back to my room, where the dog started growling. I moved closer to the bathroom door so the dog could see it was me, as I was worried he was growling at my shadow. I called him up to me and he was still growling, and I said, "Hey, it's only me. Come here. What's the matter?" The dog walked slowly towards me, still growling, and sat next to my leg, growling at something that he perceived to be behind me. In that moment, my thoughts turned to, "Oh shit, there's somebody in the house." And I turned around and started running down the hallway. What I saw has never left my mind, and something no one has ever believed when I've told them. I saw what seemed to be like a huge bird. It had huge outstretched wings that would have touched the roof and almost to the floor. Its body ended where the wings did, and neither seemed to touch the floor. As it followed me down the hallway, the wings stayed outstretched and it seemed to glide as it moved. I did notice a small head between the wings, but no features that I can recall, and the head seemed hooded rather than round and connected to the body without a neck. To me, the creature seemed more shadow-like than of flesh. I tried to momentarily bullshit myself and attribute it to my own shadow, but it wasn't. It was real. I remember mostly the wings and the enormity of them as they towered over me and how it moved as it followed after me until it slipped into another room. I'm not sure what happened to it after that, but my sister, who was older and didn't believe in anything paranormal, had some scary experiences involving a black shadow that would terrorize her at night. Let me bottom line this for you. There are evil, malicious spirits that will absolutely exploit human arrogance and stupidity. Never try to conjure spirits. It won't go well for you. And I don't give a shit what anybody tells you about surrounding yourself with white light, burning sage, salt on the floor, whatever. That's all paranormal TV show, psychic fair bullshit. Demons operate on a whole nother level. Think about that before you sit down and try to use a Ouija board.